The current video is about adding a book to your inventory through the M2 dashboard. The dashboard is available after registration and setup of a new ID are completed as shown in the previous two videos. You can't list books on Amazon through M2 until you have added them to your inventory. First, we'll take a brief look at the dashboard and the functions you can access from it. Next, I'll demonstrate how to add a book to inventory and use the Fetch by ISBN function to fill in many of the inventory fields automatically. Adding a book to inventory kicks off the process that results in selling a book through the Amazon FBA program or a book stashed away in your own storage space. At the end of this video, I'll discuss some useful but optional fields you might want to use when adding a book. After adding a single book as part of this tutorial, I'll end the video and add enough books to be useful in future videos in this series that discuss listing and shipping. Let's get started. If you have just finished submitting your settings and controls, the M2 dashboard should now be available to you. If you haven't already, click on Dashboard in the navigation bar and you will see the window that is first available each time you log into M2 from now on. In addition to the navigation bar being available from the dashboard view, there is also a more functions sidebar that is divided into a shipping and mailing and reports area. A quick glance at the Ship Books to Amazon FBA window found under More Functions shows where books already in inventory and listed on Amazon, there are none at the moment, can be assigned to boxes that later become part of a shipment. Looking at the Mail a Book to a Customer window shows that address information and mailing preferences can be entered. The key to mailing a book to a customer once sold is entering an order ID, which will result in many of the fields in this window being filled in automatically. There really isn't anything to look at in the three available report windows at this point. The More Functions sidebar and what it has to offer will be more meaningful after some books have been added to inventory. We can begin adding books to inventory by clicking on the Add Book button. Notice the two buttons at the bottom of the Add Book window. There's Submit New Book and Fetch by ISBN. If you click on Submit New Book without filling in any fields, then all the fields required when later listing a book on Amazon are highlighted in red and an error message appears under each. In most cases, you will not need to fill in all the highlighted fields by hand when entering a new book. Most of the fields will be filled in automatically by providing M2 with an ISBN. I've been using a wireless Bluetooth scanner to enter the ISBN for me rather than typing it in manually when processing batches of books, which is what I'm going to do now. First, I position my cursor in the ISBN field and then scan the book. When I click Fetch by ISBN, M2 automatically retrieves any information available about the book from the ISBN database M2 is connected to. Manually typing in the ISBN and clicking the Fetch by ISBN button will provide the same result. Notice that when I click Submit again, several fields still need to be filled in. The fields that are still not complete can't be fetched from a catalog because they depend on the condition of the specific book being offered for sale and which sales channel will be used, which is either FBA or MFN. To finish up, I first pick Used Like New from the Condition drop-down because the spine of the book I am working on looks like it has never been forced open and the cover has no scuff marks or wear. Also, as I carefully thumb through the pages, I see no markings or wear internally either. The Features and Defects fields are easy to fill out in this case because of the great condition of the first book being entered into inventory. I select Yes for List Online. Choosing Yes will result in a status of List Online, while No results in a status of Incomplete. I sometimes use the Incomplete status when I am adding books to inventory in stages. For example, with some books I will provide a description but add pictures of the book to the inventory entry later. Taking pictures and adding the URL for the picture in the field you see here are something I do separately from adding a description and other information for a book. In this case, the book I am listing already has an image of Amazon that is suitable, so I don't enter a URL, and I don't want the status of the book to be incomplete. I'm going to paste a description of the book I prepared earlier to save some time. Finally, I choose FBA because this book is going to be part of an FBA shipment. Note that if I plan to sell the same book using my own storage space, I just choose MFN. For an MFN book, I'll still list it, but instead of someone at Amazon picking the book out of inventory and mailing it to a customer when sold, I will. With MFN, I will pack and ship the book myself, whereas Amazon will take care of those tasks for an FBA book. There is a default price of $1, which should be updated to reflect the price you think a given book should sell for on Amazon. Now, when I click Submit, there is a success message at the top of the window. Now when I navigate back to the dashboard, I can see the book I just scanned into inventory in the Your Books table. Alongside information identifying the entry are the List, Edit, and Delete buttons. We'll discuss how the List button is used in the next video and the other two buttons in subsequent videos. For now, I'll return to the Add Book window to briefly discuss optional fields that can be useful. There are fields I haven't filled out while adding this first book because they aren't absolutely needed for later listing the book on Amazon. Some of the fields are related to the book itself, while others have to do with pricing and finances, such as the cost of the book and how much is spent shipping it to a customer. If you are a book collector as well as an Amazon seller as I am, or you plan to sell books on Amazon as collectible, you may find some of the fields interesting. In the book citation section, there are 6 fields of interest that I have highlighted in red. If you have a signed copy of a book, a rare first edition, or an illustrator who is worth noting, you can save that information here. In the attributes section, the printing, binding, and genre can be useful. Some customers who purchase collectible books may be looking for characteristics such as a first printing in a hardcover. The book I scanned earlier is considered literature. Under condition and description, noting the condition of the dust jacket can be important for a collectible book. Under sales and market information, I like to keep track of the cost of the book, how much it costs to ship the book, and how much I paid to have a book sent to me if I ordered it from a wholesaler. After finishing this video, I'll be adding enough books for an Amazon FBA shipment, as well as some books that I plan to keep in my own storage space and sell on Amazon. The inventory of books I'll be entering will be useful in the next few video tutorials where books are listed on Amazon and later sent to customers.